When we first bought this abandoned old stone barn in the foothills of the Italian Alps, it was hard not to be stunned by the beautiful exterior wooden doors framed by the old stonework. But as this used to be a barn, there were almost no interior doors connecting the rooms together. The process of opening up the stone walls and creating doors was a long and difficult process of tearing down stones and rebuilding the doorways, hand chiseling each stone individually and building up the stone doorways piece by piece, finally capping them all off with wooden chestnut beams. Eventually we enclosed the house with modern glass doors, but today we finally bring back that original charm by installing these beautiful handcrafted barn exterior doors.
Man, it's been so long since we've had barn doors on this side of the house or on either end of the house, and that's how it originally was, and to see it kind of come back full circle and have these exterior chestnut shutters, man, just so pumped. And also just really excited to get that extra sleep in the morning because, you know, that sun gets up really early in the summer, so to be able to close the blinds, close the shutters, and have darkness to sleep in will be epic. But mostly just seeing the house from this perspective with these wood shutters is just excellent.
Alza, alza, alza. Okay. Oh.
La porto su allora.
Sì, dai che va. Lasciala qui.
These are going to be quad folding doors, so it's a little bit tricky. There's a lot of extra weight that's going to be held onto the hinges here. So we're just trying to figure out like where to attach into the stones because these stones are also smaller and a little bit more delicate. We want to make sure that the doors are held in there extra good. So drilling into these stones is surprisingly difficult as these stones are more delicate than you'd realize, especially these outer stones, as a lot of them aren't very tall. You really want to find a really large one, maybe like this or like this one to drill into. But what he's trying to do is hide all of the holes behind the hinges. So those hinges obviously need to go in a specific place. So you're really limited into what you can drill into. But this one came out perfect. Nice and strong, but a lot of times as you drill back into these stones, they just shatter and then you have nothing to grip into.
Nascondi lì.
Allora. E quello in basso. Giù. Plus un piano davor.
Metterci sotto la mano.
We're just trying to get them all lined up here, make them squeeze in there. And they're kind of all just floating in with these little temporary wedges that we're cramming in there, just to make sure that once they're mounted with hinges, that they actually pass. And it looks like we're going to just shave a little bit off of each door, or pick one to go a little bit shorter just to get them to fit. It's not exactly a precise science here with all of these stones, so he brought all of his tools here to be able to modify the doors on site, because there's not exactly anything precise about working with stones.
Non sta bene.
All right, so I have a project that I want to slowly chip away at that I might need your help, Heather. So we need to cover up this concrete wall, make a little stone wall here. We have to make that stone wall before we can put tile out on the patio and on the stairs.
Which I'm very excited about the tile.
Yeah, I'm just really anxious to get that done. It's been way too long. The problem is that all of our small stone is buried, and we're running out of it, and we really need to make sure that this wall is just as thin as possible.
Yeah.
So I think if we can just, slowly chip away at digging in our rock pile and find small stone, because believe it or not, with as much stone as we have left over, we're running out of the good stuff. So the problem is that we need really thin stone, kind of like this. That's a little bit too thin, actually. And the majority of everything we have is just massive. We need to dig down beneath all of this. This is a perfectly good stone right there, and find all of the small stuff. But I wish we had done this when we had the excavator here. That'll work. These guys right here, this is the stuff. This is a personal neck air conditioning unit. It's not a fan, it's an air conditioning unit around your neck. That's better.
We took these things with us to Rome when Brady's parents were visiting and walked around the Roman Forum, and let me tell you, everyone was fighting over it. I was the only one who remembered to bring it, and everyone was stealing it from me, because it's one thing to be out in the hot sun all day, and it's another when you can have a personalized air conditioning on your neck. These are small enough that they fit in your purse or a backpack or whatever, and it really makes the biggest difference.
What's cool about these guys is they are not neck fans, they're neck air conditioning units. These are cooling plates all along the back and the side of the product. And then they have 360-degree fans that blow up and down against your neck and down your shirt even. And honestly, I just love being able to tell you guys about products and promote things that we actually use all the time. We definitely use these guys all the time in the summer. So this one is the Coolify Cyberfold. It's really cool because you can fold it up like this. It's the world's first folding neck air conditioning unit. You can fit it into a small purse or a backpack. Heather's wearing the Coolify 2S Pro. That one has a little bit better battery life, and you can still have a good amount of adjustment on that one. But this one has the most adjustment. They're both extremely comfortable to wear. Once you've worn them for a little bit, you just forget that they're there completely. So most neck fans just continue to blow hot air on you, whereas this has the cooling plate and it's able to drop the ambient temperature by up to 18 degrees Fahrenheit. So immediately upon turning it on, you're gonna feel that it's a lot colder, but at about 5 minutes, those cooling plates really kick in. It feels like a nice cold can against your neck.
So of course you can use these for work, but my favorite way to use them is when we're traveling, because like I said before about the Roman Forum, that was a great place when you're out in the sun, but you keep these cool. We're actually gonna go for a hike later, and we will bring these because it is getting so hot out now. I love it because it is so easy to bring with you. Like even if you're on a train or a plane or a bus or something and you're getting a little bit car sick or something, having this right there blowing air right at you that's cold will make a world of a difference.
They also have an Eva Go handheld fan that the kids like to use, but honestly it's the neck air conditioners, that's where it's at. I personally prefer the Cyberfold just because it feels a little bit cooler to me and I like the extra flexibility. The fan is also not obnoxiously loud, it's really quiet. Listen for a moment. Hardly anything at all. If you guys want to check them out for yourself, I'll leave a link in the description below. But thank you so much to Coolify for sponsoring today's video. So here's the problem. We need like 100 times more than this.
Yeah.
I think we might just have to wait for them to bring back the excavator.
I think that's probably a good idea.
There's more good stones under there. It's
They're just buried under the big stuff.
Yeah. Some other day. All right, so today we're taking the afternoon to go visit a nearby little town. One of those borgos, or the, I guess, what do you call it? A hamlet, basically a tiny little self-sustaining city. This one, it's only accessible via hiking. So we've got a little bit of a drive, then park, and then a bit of a hike to get to this town. So we're driving up through the San Pellegrino Terme Valley, which is difficult to say. It's actually where they bottle the water, San Pellegrino. And aside from the ugly factory of where they bottle the water by the river, it's an unbelievably gorgeous drive.
Continue straight to stay on SS 470.
Passing through all of these small towns, we're heading up to Cornello. Is that the name of the city?
I think so, yeah.
I think so. It's a crazy example of an old Venetian city, and I guess we'll tell you more about it once we get there. All right, so we made it as close as we can get. There's various parking lots here, some as close as 5 minutes, others as far as 15 minutes away. I'd say we're probably one of the further ones away right now, and then we have to hike in the rest of the way. This is the coolest way to explore Italy, in my opinion. You have to rent a car, because as we were driving through San Pellegrino, all of those small towns, the town that we're going to go back to visit, this town, you can't really reach unless you rent your own car. I know it can be stressful to drive Italian roads. I know it can be stressful, especially to rent a car. Actually, regarding that, to make it less stressful, don't rent a car, lease a car. That's what we do. We lease from this program called Renovate. That's why we have this weird red license plate that no one else has. So how exactly does this work? It's not a rental, it's a lease of a brand new car. I think you can do as little as 1 or 2 weeks and a maximum of 90 days, but it ends up being cheaper than renting, but you get a brand new car and it comes with full insurance. So if you scratch it or whatever, which probably will happen in Italian roads, and I have done that before, when you return it, it's no questions asked. You just return it and it's all good. There's no stress about returning it with a full gas tank or anything like that. The whole process is so much less stressful. It's not a paid plug or anything like that. It's just a super cool travel hack. We've used them for a couple of times and it makes the experience much less stressful. But with that, a short hike to Cornello. So there's actually a lot of towns like this around Italy that you can't actually drive all the way up to, because with how old the country was, obviously there weren't cars back when these villages were being made. They only used donkey paths and hiking paths to get to them. And they also chose locations that were very difficult to get to because they were then easier to defend. So rather than building modern day roads out to them, some of these villages you have to park a good ways out, like this one. But this one's supposed to be one of the better examples of an old Venetian town. So down below there's a cable system. I don't know if you can see it, but all the way down there, that's where they park, the residents do. And then this cable system is for pulling up anything, groceries, supplies, whatever.
I love that.
It's wild, but there's quite a lot of people who actually still live here. It's an unbelievably beautiful place to live, but definitely comes with challenges such as carrying in your groceries.
So this is a very small little town, even though it's so beautiful. There is this kind of one little path down here, and then there's another upper section. So now I think we should go up and explore that upper section.
So I tried to do a little bit of studying up on the history of this place before we came out here, and I learned that this was one of the original Venetian towns in the area prior to the Venetians building out Bergamo. This was the main trading hub before Bergamo, the larger city, was built. And apparently this is where the postal system was invented, not just for Italy, but for all of Europe. They have a museum for the postal history here. It's closed today, but apparently they have on display one of the first postage stamps ever invented. This underpass section right here is what I think makes this town so cool. It feels like it's straight out of some kind of medieval movie. In fact, this would make for an awesome film set. I'm sure they've probably used it. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it was relatively affordable to buy a house in this town just because of how secluded it is. But man, imagine waking up here every morning for your coffee just kind of a stunning place to live.
There's these like carvings on these rocks here. Those are really cool. I don't know where those came from.
That's the fancy water that they bottle up and sell all over the world.
Yeah.
And from here, it looks awfully blue.
Personally,
I vote first one.
I like Fiji water better. But
Well, good morning. Jumping straight into things today, the team is arriving soon, Alessio and Andrea, to finish up the doors. Today we're going to be working on the exterior shutters on either end of the house, and well, I've got another interior woodworking project myself. This is our guest room eventually, and man, the state of things currently, it's just become the room that we can store everything, including all of our lumber supplies for making furniture in the future, which I'll need to grab a little bit of walnut for my project today, but as well as all of our tools are in here, and man, we eventually need to empty all of this out and use it properly as a guest room, especially since soon we'll have visitors. My goodness. Heather, can you help me in the bathroom here? Can you help me in the bathroom upstairs? All right, so today, finally covering up that little section right there. Yay! So we need to, I'll also take a measure, here you go. Number one, I think I'm gonna do walnut. Is that okay?
Ooh, yeah, that would be
So
great.
rather than the chestnut, I think it'll look
beautiful.
nice. Do you want it to run not all the way to the glass, just like a little bit off the edge?
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah,
Okay.
no, not all the way to the glass, for sure.
So even though we have far too much walnut left over, the thickness that I want for that, I want it to be really thick, like 5 centimeters thick. This is like the perfect shape and size, but it's
not
not
long
going to
enough.
be, it is long enough, it's not
Wide enough.
wide enough.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
All right, so this is basically our shelf. I'm just gonna run it through the planer to kind of smooth out all of the edges, and then the side, I'm not gonna run it through that until I marry on that extra piece. I'm gonna make it twice as thick on this edge and this edge, and once I run it through the joiner side, is that what it's called? Then it should blend in the seam, but we'll see. I tell you what, I could not be more grateful for this shade to work in today. It's turned out to be an absolute scorcher of a day, and I've mentioned this many times before. You'd be surprised in the summer just how hot it gets here, especially with the sun. That sun can be brutal. They've been messing around with that door for a while, and I hear them putting in what I think are the final screws. It's really difficult to get them to open and close properly. I think they've got it there, which is really exciting. So as soon as I get this finished up, we're gonna go check on that. Alessio, ti chiamano.
Due asini di qua, due di là.
That will never not be funny. I'm starting to get a sense for how much of a blackout effect these doors are going to have while we're sleeping between covering up that and the window. So we're having a little bit of a problem here in that this stone is naturally kind of arching up and not allowing us to open the door. But the problem is that this is going to be really hard to lower and to look good. We'll see how it works out. Well, I'm going to be honest in that I really don't know exactly how to fix this stone here. I can only guess. My gut feeling says I need to kind of cut a checkered pattern in it with the saw. Man, the store's going to be in the way, though. I don't want to do that. It makes a huge mess. And I'm not very confident in my ability to cut it at the right depth. I'm also just afraid to break it because it's kind of a unique, special stone. I've mentioned before that this style of stone with the drop down in the center for a step is unique to this area. It's part of their history and their culture. And these were the original stones, so I don't want to mess it up. Yeah, see, if I can do it with just the chisel, it's going to have a much more natural look to it. And the reality is that they didn't have saws back in the day when this stone was made. So it's just a matter of, do I have the skill set to do it? And I think if I spend a long time on it, I think I probably can. But it's going to take me quite a long time. Oh, man. Brutal. But look at that. It's beautiful. This tool always scares me. My dad lost half his finger on this
Oh, is
tool.
that what he lost
Not
his
this specific
finger on?
one,
I mean, I
but,
know that,
yeah.
but that kind of thing. Ooh,
Yeah.
yikes.
Hey,
Yes,
that worked
be
out pretty
careful.
good.
It looks great.
Stain it, seal it.
Yeah, it's gonna look so nice though. It looks so much more
It does look a lot
finished.
better, but man, we're so close to finishing it.
So close.
All right, so we've moved on to the kids' room. Unfortunately, these stones out here are really bad. There's just so much dead air here,
Yep.
and it's because the stones are kind of flaring out on both sides. So we're gonna try to chisel down all of this. Honestly, this stonework here is a little bit brutal. I knew it was bad. I didn't think it was this bad though until they started putting up the side supports. So we'll see what we can get done here.
No, serve subito perché dopo quando arriviamo fissiamo dopo. Adesso volevo verificare un attimo per la larghezza, se
Sì,
a piombo, se mettere dentro anche degli spessori qua o cosa.
Ok, va bene.
Capito?
Okay. It's gonna get messy. All right. Okay.
Okay, good luck.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao. Ooh, careful.
Come on. I think tonight when the kids are sleeping, they're randomly going to find stones in their bed.
That happened to me. I found, I was like,
Really?
oh, there's a stone on my pillow. Like the
Nice.
Princess and the Pea.
Well, it looks like they're just starting to measure out the door on this front side here. And man, to see the front of the house come full circle now and to start to have that front barn door, I have missed seeing barn doors on this side. The morning light here, the view with the mountain in the background, with the wood shutters on the outside of the house, that is going to be beautiful. It is quite the process to fit these doors in. So one at a time, they're fitting them in, measuring it properly, making sure that everything fits. And the other door was quite the pain in the butt. So they're trying to take extra time here and make sure that all of these measurements are proper so that it all fits in. All right.
Wow.
Isn't that something?
It makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, it adds so much
not
contrast
just
to
the
the
glass
house
doors.
and not just having the stone and the black glass.
Yeah.
But to have that pop of color brings it back to what it used to be.
Yeah, it feels like it has that rustic nature like it used to.
Yep. And it ties out all of the other work that we've done in with these beams and everything. It makes
Beautiful.
a huge difference.
Yeah.
So fixing the stone threshold outside of our room, I think has given me the confidence to try to tackle this door. This has always been rubbing. So, and actually if you come down here with the camera low, you can see that I've raised the door up so much so that you can slide your hand underneath it, which means that lizards are constantly coming in the house. And actually, it's big enough a snake could come into. And then the big thing is in winter, just cold air just blows through crazy. So I'm gonna attempt to fix a couple of spots and then lower the entire doorway, which lowering the door is actually really easy. It's just fixing these spots that's annoying. I just was too scared to do this before because, I mean, this stone threshold has been here for hundreds of years and I don't exactly feel qualified for fixing it. Going a lot more delicate on this floor because this one matters a whole lot more. This is the main entrance to the house and it makes me nervous. There's actually, you can see how smooth this entire floor is just from people walking over it for, again, hundreds of years. It smooths it down. I can mimic that same look on these broken pieces just with sandpaper and a palm sander. But for now, just working on getting it flat. Let's try opening it and seeing how we're doing.
Better.
Much better. Let's touch it right here. Wow.
It opens up wider than it's ever opened
Never been able to do that
before.
before. But hey, that's a lot better. I don't think it looks bad at all. I think that
I think it looks great.
a little bit of sanding, you won't even notice that it was ever done. So thankfully, they make these doors really easy to raise up and down. I'm just gonna try and drop it down as low as possible and then continue to chisel out the stones as needed. Didn't used to squeak like that.
No.
I think I messed something up.
Well,
I'll fix it.
it'll be fine.
I'll fix it, I promise.
It'll be fine. A little squeaky. That's the moral of the story, isn't it, this week? Doors are harder than you think.
Don't have a house with doors.
All open air. Just let the lizards come in.
What happened?
I don't know.
Ignore the little bit of a
A
squeak.
little squeak still. Yay!
I'm hoping that'll go away.
It's fine.
Oh man, doors are hard.
Doors are
I've had
hard.
too many doors over the last couple of days, last week or so really. Doors are hard.
Doors are hard.
Well, these doors have just been brutal to install, but they have the end door over by the kids' door installed right now. I think they have a little bit of work left to finish it up to get it all perfectly opening and closing properly, but man, is it ever nice to have a barn door back on this side of the house.
I remember walking up to the house the first time and seeing the old barn doors, and that's one of the things that really made me fall in love with the house. And so to have it back like this is really special, and I love it. I think it turned out amazing.
It feels like after several years of work here, we've now come full circle back to what it sort of looked like in the beginning. Obviously, we couldn't have used those original barn doors because, well, there was holes in them and animals could crawl through, but to have the end shutters now is just fantastic. But with that, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in our next video.